Alright, good morning. Going to send a lot of videos to you guys over the next couple of days, videos and images, just to start catching up with the Patreon stuff. And we've had a couple of snags, but we're going to start the live chat thing next week, so there might wind up actually being 2 live chats in October. Cheers. Every morning I try to start with a warm-up sketch. They can sometimes get a little bit elaborate, but they're always necessary. I'm a little exhausted today, so sorry about that. Alright, let's just get to it. So this is just going to be a female figure. Sometimes I do warm-up sketches with the intent of selling them, and on the big cartel site. But for the most part, I just work them with the hopes of, you know, getting the engine started and maybe taking a couple of chances that I wouldn't normally take in the work. Since it's early, I tend to be a little bit more uncertain when it comes to stuff. So you see a lot of gestural kind of nonsense happening. The way I like to work is just put down a line and let your instincts and your skills kind of take over. But yeah, so there's a lot of chances that, you know, artists, myself included, want to kind of take more of in their work. And for whatever reason, we tend to kind of chicken out a little bit. You know what? Let's just quit with the wheeze. I tend to chicken out a little bit. So in the morning sketches, for whatever reason, because they don't really need to be anywhere, it kind of gives you that. Kind of gives me that bravery or that freedom to kind of explore more and see if it works. If it does, you can apply it to your other work, but I typically don't enjoy being so safe. But honestly, this is just me rambling because it's early and I am tuckered. But deadlines are deadlines, and the work must go on. Recently switched back to the blue pencil because I started penciling a little too tight, and my inks started feeling like I was just tracing my pencils, and that's no fun. Alright. Alright, there's a blue line gesture drawing. Fuck it, let's go with the non-waterproof ink. Why? Just in case I want to fuck with it. Alright. Using the green guy today. It's all, it's mixing it up. When I first start, I tend to kind of just dig into the paper and make a little bit of a, whether it's spickles or whatever, it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of a greeting to the paper. A little bit of a handshake. Hey, how's it going, paper? When you see me reaching up like this, I don't know if I've already shown you photos or not, but that's my iPad attached to my table up there, so I can See what I'm doing? That's not. This is the iPad attached to the table up there. That's why. But yeah. So like I said, this is a warm-up, so there's no point in being overly cautious and safe. There's no point in just slapping shit around either. You don't become fully engaged unless you're trying. So the difference is to try, but the odd part is you're not trying for anything, you're just trying. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but it is true. Basically, it's showing up with the intent to care, you know. You just hope to find it through fucking around. I don't think I'm going to probably keep any of the audio in this video because I am just a rambling sort. Later today we're going to shoot another process video in which I'll actually have my assistant asking questions and kind of interviewee type things while I'm working, so hopefully the audio will be a little bit more engaging / entertaining, because frankly I don't know what the fuck to tell you guys. Alright, fingers crossed. Alright. Alright, sorry about that. Some cameras like you and some don't. So, in case I don't keep any of the audio previously recorded, this is just a warm-up. It allows me to, you know, literally do just that, warm up. You don't have to care. Nobody needs to see it, except for if you're going to start a Patreon page and show everybody all of the warts and all kind of a thing. But yeah, man, you just, like anything else, you just got to kind of work up some cold, tired muscles in your body and in your brain, and that's what this is. Sometimes they work out and I can sell them on my Big Cartel page, but sometimes they don't. Either way, I can't recommend morning sketches enough, because especially if you're an illustrator, there's a, you know, there's a certain amount of slickness, you know, to the work. There's composition, there's you know, for comics there's multiple panels. You really have, there's a lot more that you have to kind of take care of. And that's the beauty of fine art, or just working privately like this, is that you can cut loose, you know. You can you can dance like no one's watching. That was one of the biggest hurdles when I decided to do this Patreon, was to show people this kind of thing, and debating if I wanted to do that or not. But I don't know. Sometimes it was always the professionals that I looked up to, that I really love, that would show me or explain to me how, you know, shit doesn't work all the time, and you gotta, we're all only human, and so we're all just trying to make it work. They don't just wake up and start spitting out genius. They gotta plan it out, sketch it out. Later today, we're going to shoot another video. My assistant is going to help out, and she's going to be doing things like asking questions and that kind of thing. So the audio will hopefully be way more informative and way more entertaining than it has been, because I don't know what to fucking tell you guys. This Patreon comes from a place of wanting to share and somewhat educate, and also just kind of give back to a fan base that might be interested in how the hell it is I work. But it doesn't mean that any of that comes naturally. So hopefully, as this progresses and more patrons jump on board, and I can do more of this kind of a thing, then I'll get better at it. I will be starting the new, the Patreon only webcomic very soon. It'll be October, which is just around the corner. About the same time for Inktober. Yay! Those who don't know what Inktober is, I don't really actually know what it is either. I just know that for some reason somebody started it, I'm sure, but all these artists just basically do ink drawings every day in Inktober. I'm not sure if there are rules like you can't pencil first, or whether it just has to be a finished ink drawing when you're done with it, but either way, I did it once before and did an illustration a day, and was really fun. It was kind of a great excuse. Not a great excuse, but it was definitely a great outlet for like morning warm-ups. So that said, expect some good themed, scary warm-up drawings over the month of October, which I will not be doing in a singular sketchbook this time. So different ones will be available for sale. Through my big cartel. See, stuff like this, I know this is definitely getting a little sloppy. And there's always good sloppy, there's always bad sloppy. But I'm not sure which this is yet. And when I say I'm not thrilled that it's sloppy, yeah, I know it's the morning sketch and no one has to see it, but again, if you really wanted to wake you up, if you really want to garner something from it, you can't just be slapping lines down on paper. You have to try. The fun part is that you have no fucking clue what you're trying for. You just know that you need to be engaged. Sound effects are back. These are great. I love these big feathered, graphic feathered lines. If you're using the parallel pen when you want to try something like that, there is a weird pressure that you're trying to put on the corners, but these things automatically just do this really beautiful little knife cut, and so that was probably the worst one I've ever drawn, but you know, there's the benefit to live camera. But I can always edit it. Let's try it back over here, okay? Nope. Life sucks sometimes. Not life. Life doesn't suck sometimes. Sometimes the, you know, it's not going to come out like you want it to. So funny when people see the spatter that I do and the craziness that I do, especially in the paintings. They all talk about just the looseness and the energy and the crazy, and that's great. That's what I'm trying to achieve, but it is nuts how much work it takes sometimes to look like you're just slapping shit down and going nuts. You want the work to have energy, you know, but there's also other things to consider: composition, line weight. You know, inevitably, like Francis Bacon once said in an interview, you know, he was talking about abstracting the figure as much as he could, but you know, for him, he was always needed to bring the people back to the figure. He didn't just want to be a purely abstract artist. So, as he put it, you know, you can go crazy and all this other stuff, but when you're coming down to like this ear, he's like, well, an ear still has to look like an ear. That said, it's not all just like slapping down lines and just that little bit of, now we have some weight. over there, and that's lovely. Felt like my Bob Ross moment. So when this kind of thing happens, where you see me going kind of a little bit nuts there with the scratches in the line, it's all kind of like the spatter that I do. It's all texture. It's all meant to be kind of a tone. You just don't want to do spatter each time. So you kind of put this secondary, not so harsh light source up under this hair. You have this light coming down. Phew. And so it comes down onto this little bunch of hair, and then you kind of have this harsh shadow. And sometimes I would do spatter for the secondary side, or in this case, I just like the momentum of where things are going, so I just did it with line. But all of this to say, it's all midtones and textures. It's just your own preference for how you want. For the style and the kind that you want to do. This is feeling a lot better than I thought. I don't know if you can see if my hand winds up actually moving a little faster, but essentially what I'm saying is that I'm waking up, yay. Which is great, because this has been a slow start today, so I've got a lot of stuff to do on Spawn. I've got a lot of stuff to write on Empty Zone, a lot of stuff to write on Secret Project that I can't really even explain to you guys right now. But just know that I love making comics, man. I love making comics. I love making art. Coming back and working more in comics than in fine art at the moment has not hurt me. I don't necessarily miss it because I'm drawing comics and this is how I'm starting my day. So, you know, it's all just in how people and how you can I don't know, include everything, find balance in your life. There's a lot of great shadows on these legs. I'm gonna have to, but we're going to just get into some legs for a minute. Where's his hand? I really actually just love the way that the ink handles the non-waterproof ink. If it didn't smudge my hand, not this is always there, but if I were to go back up in here or whatever, I know people put the piece of paper down and are very smart and very professional and everything that I am not, because I don't do that. Instead, I wind up just smudging the shit out of the artwork. When I'm in a mode, I can't. It sucks for me to have to stop and do technical things. She still got that shadow from her hand. See, look at that. Now you've got a really lovely shadow for that leg. This leg ain't nothing but some goddamn shadows. All right. Let me see, we'll refine a little bit there. Look at this business. We'll figure out a better answer for this stuff. All right, now the fun part, to mess it up a little bit. We'll see. We'll see where this goes. Sometimes that little bit of blur is lovely. If you're wondering why my water brush looks so goddamn dark, it's because I, much like everything, I buy 2 of everything so I can mess with it. So this particular water brush, do I want to? I don't know, let's see. Okay, this particular water brush is full of coffee. No milk, by the way, just so you know. It's gross and it lets your stuff rot. But every once in a while, not every once in a while, but sometimes just the clean water is, you just want a little bit of character, you know? You just want a little bit of character in your washes that isn't just clean water. Just want to imply, you don't need to knock people over the head. There we go. Fun stuff all there. All right. I'm not gonna go nuts with this stuff. Like I said, one, it's a warm-up. No matter what your feelings about it, it's a warm-up. I like all this other business happening. Let's just see if we can fuck it up a little bit. Ooh, that's nice. Controlled chaos. That's what we want. You're not going, you know, ape shit, but you are going far enough to to either destroy or complement the piece. I love how that's just sitting right there. That's nice. Alright, we're not gonna fuck with things too much. Fuck with that hat just a touch. There we go. There is it. I'm gonna give this a little less weight there. Make that more of a shape. Clean that up just a touch. All right. So yeah. Now that I'm kind of feeling it, I'm going to go in with a little bit of whiteout, as per usual. I'm going to mess with a little bit of stuff over here first. See, the non-waterproof ink, you don't even have to mess with your drawing. You just get to pull from it. Coffee gives it that little nice little additional something. Little color that makes people happy. Might try something a little different. Love all that. All right. See, already fucking it up. So I'm gonna have to come back in, tweak some things, because I like this one now and I wouldn't mind having it available. Extra attention here is just because some parts you just want to be smooth. Look at that. Beautiful. Sometimes you just leave it the fuck alone, right? So yeah, this is all just kind of tweaking and quote unquote fixing. As you progress through a drawing or a painting or whatever, definitely a painting because just the time it takes. Anyway, as you progress through them, you start seeing, like by the time you hit like the end of it, you start seeing these mistakes, and you're like, Jesus, how did I not see that? Basically, it's just because it's a warm-up piece, or a warm-up, but you get this kind of a time of getting to know a piece, getting better, having your eye get better, and then yeah, so then when you do see a mistake, you're like, how could that have happened? Well, that happened because you weren't as good as you are now. You improve every day, every goddamn day. As long as you're drawing, you're improving. You're improving your eye, you're improving your technique, you're improving your line control. You're improving every day. That's why, as cheesy as it sounds, the best advice is just draw every day. you know, there's stuff that I'm going to take away with me, because it never goes away. You know, there's like I was about to say, there's stuff I'm going to take away with me after this drawing today that I was really happy with, and you know, some things I'm less thrilled with, but for the most part, you know, I started my morning off with experimentation and messing around with some stuff, and now I have some ideas for how I want to approach a couple of pages in Spawn. Little stuff I don't care so much about. This might literally just be me nitpicking. So with the assumption that that's what it is, I'm just going to call it. And then we do a little circle JSA 17. See, like that. You just can't ever let anything go, can you? I couldn't let this go because I know what it is. Get out of here, Buck. Oops. And then a bug ruined everything. Just wanted that defined a little better. All right, that's enough. Call it quits. Cheers.